Hey Lorain County football fans, and welcome back to another episode of The Blitz, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. I'm your host, Rocco Nushi. Behind the camera, the one and only Kristen Bauer. And no, on remote location this week, as we did not want to battle the elements. We are in the friendly, cozy confines of the Chronicle Telegram. Speaking of the CT, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. That's the best way to get all the latest content and all the latest episodes of The Blitz. So again, just hit that little bell notification icon down below and subscribe and like to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. So we are in the regular season finale. It is week 10, the postseason right around the corner. And how did we get here? Well, let's look at week 9 first and foremost. And how about those Black River Pirates? 5 straight victories for them now. They get a massive win over Firelands. 42-28 was the final score there. That keeps Black River alive in their Lorain County League title hopes. It puts a little bit of a damper on Firelands, although they can still get a share of that crown. And of course, Columbia, well, they don't really like sharing at all. They want to keep it all to themselves. So we'll get to more on that in a minute. But Black River, man, I'll tell you what, that win over Firelands, a huge victory for them. Eric Grosser, what can't this young man do? 4 touchdown passes. He had 2 on the ground. He kicked all of their extra points. So really, truly doing it in all 3 phases of the game, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. So Eric Grosser, his fantastic 2022 season continues. 110 rushing yards for Tyler Markusic, who has been a huge jolt for them since he's been back from injury. And again, that's the 5th straight win for the Pirates. So their Lorain County League title hopes are still intact. Avon, they clinched their 7th straight SWC title. They get a 42-7 win over Midview. So a big shout out to Coach Mike Elder for what he's been able to do there with those Eagles. We know all about Avon football at this point. So for them to win their 7th straight Southwestern Conference title, I think that's pretty impressive. So big tip of the cap to Coach Elder for that. They're first in the points in Division II, Region 6 right now for the postseason. And how about that Panther defense over there at Valyria Catholic? Last week, they really took it to North Olmsted, and they picked up right where they left off this week. They hold Bay to just 1 completed pass for 6 yards. So anytime you give up just 1 pass for less than 10 yards, yeah, it's a pretty good recipe for success defensively. So big shout out to EC. They have a huge game this week, so more on that in a minute. So what is there to look forward to here in week 10? Of course, playoff points. The battle for those continues. Teams trying to get in or refrain from being kicked out of the postseason, jostling for a position within those points. So a lot to look forward to this week. And I think the big one, Firelands at Columbia, again in the regular season finale. Lorain County League title stakes are on the line, and you can listen to this one on a WEOL on the radio and stream one at WEOL.com. So what are the scenarios here? Well, Columbia, if they knock off Firelands, no matter what happens with Black River and Wellington, the Raiders would get sole possession of that Lorain County League title. You know, that's what they're looking for. Firelands, they have to beat Columbia to at least get a share of that conference title. And for Black River, they have their eyes on this one. They have to take care of business against Wellington first and foremost. But Black River, if Firelands is able to knock off Columbia and Black River beats Wellington, then Black River would be part of a 3-way tie with Firelands and Columbia for that Lorain County League title. So kind of crazy. Again, Columbia has to win to get it on their own. Firelands with a win gets at least a share. And if Black River gets a win plus a Firelands win, again, a 3-way tie for the top of that Lorain County League title. Last season, Columbia won this matchup against Firelands 28-21. Raiders looking for their first perfect regular season since 2015. You know, expectations are a little higher than that for Coach Jason Ward as they look to make a deep postseason run. But again, looking for that first perfect regular season since 2015. And really, if you know these two teams, you know it comes down to a battle of the trenches, right? This line of scrimmage, that's where it'll be won. Can the Raiders defense do enough to clog up Weston Strader and all those talented running backs over there at Firelands? And if you're the Falcons, what can you do defensively against Marco Sirigliano and that talented Columbia offensive front? So really, this will be an absolute war in the trenches, as it always is when these two meet up. But that's certainly true here in 2022. The Falcons, if they're able to get a win, this could really help them as far as the points go in Division III, Region 10. Could be enough for them to host a playoff game. And for Columbia, they're hoping to jump Northwestern for that 3 spot in their region if they're able to get a win. Again, Black River is at Wellington. The Pirates need a win in order to get at least a share of that Lorain County League title. They need some help from the Falcons in this one as well. But Wellington, they have a lot to play for this week as well. Of course, they can play spoiler for Black River, but they can also clinch or or maybe get into the postseason, they need a little bit of help. They need a loss by either Wayne Tracy or Riverdale in Division 6 Region 22 to get in addition to a win on their own. So the Dukes, a huge week for them. First and foremost, got to find a way to beat Black River to get into the playoffs, and then you need a little bit of help as well to squeak into that 15 or 16 spot. Elsewhere on WEOL, the Valyria Catholic, like I mentioned earlier, they are playing host to Holy Name in the GLC title game. You can listen to that one on WEOL.com stream 2. This is a good one. It's a rematch of Week 4. The Panthers came away with a 28-14 victory, and it was that man Levi Ellis doing a lot of damage as he has each and every week this season. 291 rushing yards for him against the Green Wave in that Week 4 matchup. So he's looking for a repeat for performance. And for Holy Name, their senior quarterback Javion Williams really kind of controls the tempo, controls their offense, really dictates how they do on any given Friday night. Can the Panthers defense slow him down again as they did in Week 4? So again, EC playing host to Holy Name for that GLC title game, WEOL.com stream 2. Elsewhere in Lorain County, Clearview will be playing host to Keystone. Both teams at 3-6. This could be a battle of 4th place depending on how things work out with Wellington, but both already eliminated from the playoffs, so just kind of hoping for better Lorain County League finishing at this point. Avon Lake is at North Ridgeville. This is a big Division 2 Region 6 matchup. The Rangers should get enough playoff points to host a playoff game if they find a way to beat the Shoremen. Avon Lake, they currently sit 5th in the points, so not sure if there's much wiggle room for them there, but of course they're hoping to end their regular season on a strong note and head into the postseason with some momentum. So that's a big one as Avon Lake is at North Ridgeville. And our Stream 3 matchup, our Medina County matchup on WEOL.com, it's Solon at Medina. The Bees get sole possession of the Greater Cleveland Conference Championship if they find a way to knock off Solon. Those Comets have a very, very good defense, so they're trying to put the kibosh on that. And for Medina, they could jump up all the way to 2nd in points in Division 1, Region 1 if they can find a way to knock off Solon. So that could be huge for them as they march along into the postseason as they're expected to do. So again, real quick, our 3 games on WEOL. It'll be Firelands and Columbia on the radio in Stream 1. On Stream 2, the GLC title game as Holy Name visits Valyria Catholic, and our Medina County matchup on Stream 3. GCC title on the line as Medina takes on Solon. So that'll do it for this week of The Blitz. Again, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. Make sure you check out the Chronicle Telegram for all the latest high school sports coverage, and make sure you check out that OHSAA website too for the playoff points and see where your team lies and what the postseason might mean for them. So for Kristen Bauer behind the camera, I'm Rocco Nushi saying thank you again for listening to The Blitz, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll see you next week.